The tree of knowledge of good and evil was magic. I know it sounds absolutely crazy, but just stick around and you'll see exactly what I mean. I'm gonna need you to watch this whole video because if you miss one part of this video, you will not understand how I'm coming to my conclusion about what I just said. So if you don't know, Genesis chapter 1 verse 1 is actually very poorly translated when it comes to your English Bibles. Your English Bibles translates it as in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. But if you go to a Jewish Bible from like the Jewish Publication Society, or even if you go to Safaria, it'll give you when God began to create heaven and earth. And we know that based on the language. So when you look at the Hebrew for Genesis 1, there is no definite article behind the word beginning in Hebrew. So the word beginning in Hebrew is bereshit. So there is no word the behind beginning. So it can be translated as when God began to create. So that's one thing that's wrong with Genesis chapter 1, leading up to my point. There was a paper written in 2017 by Scott B. Nogel. And what he argues is that Genesis 1, it could be translated as when God began to create, or in the beginning, God created the heavens and Sheol. So one of the things that people don't understand, or people probably have never heard about before, is the people who wrote your Bible, this is what they used to believe about the world. They used to believe the earth was flat. They used to believe that the earth was underneath what was called a firmament, and inside of this firmament was windows, but underneath of the earth was water, and underneath of this water was Sheol. It was the land of the dead. So in your English Bibles, when it says God began to create the heavens and the earth, this is heaven, this is the earth. But notice how if you read Genesis 1 in plain English, nothing about Sheol. So what Scott B. Nogel, what he says is Genesis 1:1 is supposed to be a merism. So a merism is when you take two opposites of a thing so that you can describe a whole. For example, if you say up and down are two opposite directions that are supposed to, as a whole, describe what we know as vertical. Or if you say left and right as a whole represent what we know as horizontal. Well, Genesis 1 saying that in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth is not representing what the Israelites believed as a whole was their cosmology. So Genesis 1 could be translated as when God began to create the heavens and the underworld. And those two opposites are supposed to be a merism of the totality of what the Israelites believed about the world. So remember in the story, God says to Adam and Eve, do not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, or you will surely die. Well, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, if you just look at that at your plain English Bible and you don't go any deeper, you would never know that the tree of knowledge of good and evil is not really a tree about knowledge about good and bad. The tree of knowledge of good and evil is actually the tree of the knowledge of the heavens and the underworld. This is why in the story, God says to the other Elohim that are part of his divine council, he says to the divine council, the man has now become like us, knowing both good and evil, knowing both the secrets of Hashemayim Haaretz. Now, there is way more that goes into the story of Adam and Eve that I really want to go deeper into, but I don't have time. But I do have 3 books that talk about this stuff in way more detail than I could ever talk about on TikTok on a 4-minute, 5-minute TikTok video. You can get my books by going to my main account and going to the link in my bio. Now, with that being said, I am having an event on February 3rd, 2024, and I'm going to be talking more about magic in way more detail. This was just a little taste. This was just a little sample. But if you want to know more about this stuff, if you want to know more about the Bible when it comes to ancient Near Eastern magic, I'm going to be talking about magic, miracles, and how it relates to the resurrection of Jesus. The discount code is staged. And if you want to register for that, you need to go to my main account. So I'm going to put the tag, I'm going to tag my main account in the comment section, hit that tag or hit that mention and go to my main account. And that is how you can do that. So you can get my books there and you can register for my event there. I got to go, but don't forget to follow me. If you like this information, definitely share this video around. So yeah, the tree of knowledge of good and evil was actually the secrets of the heavens and the underworld. And my books and registration is in the link in my bio in my main account.